Here we go, Zika. So with the white pieces, what you play on Zika? So thanks to one of my viewers, I now have a greenish theme on the display. It's this theme button here, the color palette. Pretty obvious once it was pointed out to me. So good. This is English opening. I think I'll play my usual anti-Botvinnik system with the early D5. Not that he's necessarily going for the Botvinnik system. He was just playing a normal English, it looks like. But D5 seems to be okay in any case, and get one open line, so you don't get a completely closed position. That exchange was a little unusual. I mean, you don't have to trade off that knight. It just can sit there for a while. It's not doing anything too dangerous. I guess knight to b4 might be an idea. Okay, so how am I going to develop the rest of my pieces? Queen may need to retreat if it gets kicked. Well, the bishop is going to play, and then he'll castle, and then I have to do something. Well, let's do a fianchetto as well. And I think there's no great discovery with the knight at this point. The knight can go to these dark squares here, 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 and I just move my queen, and it's okay. Oh, actually, he only had a couple of squares to go to because he had to go somewhere that defended the bishop. Now he can go anywhere, but still, these squares he can go to don't seem so dangerous. The most interesting one, I guess, would be here. Where is he going from there? So let's just go ahead and castle. Yeah, so he decides to force my queen to move. And I think I'll go to d7 here, defending the b-pawn from the side. So I can bring my knight out. I can push the b-pawn and play bishop to b7. Yeah, it's not about defending the pawn, I guess. It's more about defending the knight. And his knight, I don't think, is going anywhere from that square. He got it out of the way so he could play he could play f4 if he wanted to. But I'm not feeling threatened by the knight. I should watch out for a bishop h3 trick at some point, I guess. But I'm going to quickly play bishop b7. I don't see, I mean, he's got a pin at the moment against my knight, but I don't see any way for him to exploit that. And he doesn't seem to be taking any time to try and figure this out. He's just playing his routine setup, so it seems okay. I mean, those are all fine moves because he needed to get the rook off of this diagonal so that pressure on his b2 pawn is relieved. Okay, so now's the question. I want to move this rook, get it off the diagonal. I could go to c8 and maybe prepare, if he plays b4, to take and open up the c file and bring the other rook over to the d file. I guess I like that. I mean, it might be an idea also to bring this all the way over to the d file and play for e5 and then maybe e4 as well. But let's play rook to c8, and we'll see. He's just continuing to move instantly. Let's keep the bishop on. So now, if I play e5 here, he can't take the bishop. Maybe rook e8. Let's see. Our knight to d5 is looking interesting. Maybe knight d5 still. Knight d4 rather. Trade off his bishop. And that knight can come into b3 at some point. It also puts pressure on his e-pawn. If he kicks it, it can drop back to e6 and come over to the king side. So I kind of like it there. And if he trades this light squared bishop, I don't mind. Both pieces are good. It's a good piece for white. It's a good piece for black. So even trade, as far as I can tell. Okay, well, at least he's slowed down and started to think now. Always like it when that happens. Yeah, so if he wants to trade his bishop for my knight, I think that's a good deal for me. If he wants to chase the knight away and win the e-pawn, I should be a little concerned about that. But right now the e-pawn is defended. I have to wait till he moves his knight or something. So I was thinking queen to c7 to g4 here to put some pressure on the e-pawn might be an interesting way to play. So I guess that was one point in black's favor, or white's favor for that trade, was it distracted my queen for a move, so I had to waste a tempo getting my queen back into play. Okay, so he does play e3 here, kicking my knight. So that is a weakness that that's the kind of weakness you're trying to provoke in a way. So let's bring the knight back here. This d-pawn is weak, right? So I can play rook to d8, double up on that. Maybe the other rook. Yeah, so he moves his queen out of the way so that he can play rook to d1. Which rook? Am I ever going to play pawn to c4 here? After he puts his rook here? Maybe not. So let's use this rook and keep this rook available for use on the f file or the e file. Now he's got that covered. And let's think about where my knight might go. I'm going to put some pieces on the e file. And wonder about the pawn push to f5 or the pawn push to e4. We'll think about those things. Okay, so he's hitting e4 now, so I probably should defend it. Let's do that. And maybe route this knight around. Where could it go? It could go to... okay, I have to be wary of this diagonal here. My queen and my rook are lined up on a dark diagonal, and he has a dark bishop. Knight c7 to e d. Knight c7 to d5. Is that an idea? Is there a way to get... There's no easy way to get more pressure on that pawn. But maybe doubling rooks. Let's double rooks. Okay, so he just pushes right away. Well, I don't mind that, right? So there can be instant pressure on my knight. I guess he will take with the... No, he can't take with the knight. He'll take with the pawn. And I was thinking I could double here. He takes, though. Yeah, okay, this is a little awkward, right? Right. So I should probably unpin. I wonder what's the best way. Maybe here. He could push the pawn forward. Might be an interesting way for him to play. But I will line up on that piece and on that pawn and attack it. So I don't know if that will help him in the long run, pushing that forward. Okay, so should I trade rooks first or let him trade? I'll just let him trade, I guess. If he wants to. So my rook is well defended on d7. And does he want to... does he want to try and give me an isolated pawn there? I guess I will stop that by being able to take back with a rook here. And maybe I'll play a5 here, kick his bishop back. Or maybe I'll play rook to c7, double against his queen. Okay, he got his queen out of the way right away. Okay, let's kick the bishop. That's a decent outpost for the knight. I'd like to keep it. Okay, so I take with the rook. So you got some trick like queen here, check. I take, rook takes check, king here. Maybe I have to throw in this move. If I take here, well, maybe that's not a good idea. Then he has this check. Gives him a pin on the back rank. And I have a check too. Well, we'll see. See if he can find a way to exploit that. Yep, he played there. I can unpin right away, so I'm not. I don't think that's too dangerous. Queen there. Okay, he was guarding his back rank. I could have come in. Oh, that's he can play rook to this square. I should have done something about that. Rook to d7. Have to block with the bishop. His knight still can't get in to attack the bishop, but that's a bit awkward. Should not have allowed that. Played that a little too glibly. So knight from there to that square or that square. So I guess he's going to that square to harass my pinned bishop. So I go here to defend it. And probably here. Yeah, I still don't see how he can exploit this, but he got some pressure, so he got some activity out of his play. Not bad. Okay, so he goes there, hitting my rook and my queen. That's how he exploits it. But I can go here. Oh, but when I go there, I see. If I go here, he takes my rook, and I can't take his rook because it's defended. If I go here, hitting his queen, can trade. I don't have anything great. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's see, the check there would be nice, but there's no time. Check would distract the queen from defending the rook, but the rook is not under attack at the moment. Yeah, that's what happens when your pieces get tied up. He did a good job of exploiting that. Let's think a little bit more. So, how can I defend move the queen and defend the rook? I guess that's the next thing to try. Okay, we'll play on a few moves. I think he's winning now. So maybe he's trying to find the most concise way to finish me off here, but I think just knight takes rook is the move. He doesn't have to. I can't actually take anything. But yeah, did he have anything better? That's the question. So it's a bishop versus rook. And even pawns, so white's winning. But he still has to win it, I guess. So he retreats. He gathers his marbles and goes home. Before I do that, maybe I should give my king a little space here. I want to get my bishop to c5. He wants to stop that. This guy is very persistent. Okay, so he won a pawn. And I still can't move my bishop all that easily. How annoying. Okay, let's attack his rook. So he just retreats. So now I actually can move my bishop, but where is it going? Here, I guess. Let's see if he has a way to mate me here. He has queen to e8. I have king to g7. He doesn't have his rook to the 7th rank because my bishop is guarding that square. So he can check with his queen from the 7th rank. He could just give up the exchange too and try and win the endgame with an extra pawn. I don't know if that did anything. Aha, he wants to trade queens. Probably not a good idea for me to trade queens. So I'm looking at his pawn. I'm also thinking of queen to b6 lining up on this diagonal here. He defends his pawn. He defends f7. f2 rather. Defends them both. He's going to have to do something at some point. He moves his king there. Okay. Well, let's give him a check. He doesn't seem to be playing this in a very convincing way. He just wants to get the queens off. Yeah, maybe that's good enough. That certainly is good enough. Let's see if he can win now. With his extra pawn and his rook versus my bishop. That's annoying. Let's see. I can't go here and because it'll be a pin on my bishop and I need the bishop. See, I want to place my king to e6 so I can walk over here and stop this pawn. But as soon as I play that, he will play f4, hitting my bishop. Okay, that's clever. So he just waited till his pawn was far enough. Here, I will resign. Waited till his pawn was far enough, and then he traded off the bishop, so I couldn't stop it. So good game from White here. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.